Have you ever dreamt of going on a cave adventure without being a cave explorer? Well, you don't need to be a professional cave diver with several cave diving qualifications to go on a cave adventure to the Stevens Gap Cave. You only need to plan a vacation and be granted access permission by the SCCi. However, for safety purposes, kindly go for training with the Huntsville Cave Rescue Unit based in Huntsville, Alabama. Of all the southeastern caves, Stevens Gap is one of the most popular that entices people on vacation. The beautiful cave is located in the heart of Jackson County, northern Alabama. It has a fascinating pit of about 143 feet, 44 meters deep, whose beauty attracts many cavers. Its wide entrance makes hikers, photographers, and many outdoor enthusiasts love the place. Among several wild caves in North America, pictures of the view of the pit from the entrance are the most frequently uploaded scenes you will often see online. Stevens Gap Cave is Southeastern Cave Conservancy's, SCCi, 30th cave preserve. SCCi is a regulating body that issues access permits to its own preserve cave. They aim to ensure that the cave is protected and preserved for future generations. If you ever want to visit Stevens Gap Cave, the SCCi is the only authorized body to grant you access to enter. You cannot be granted access alone, as part of the requirements to be met is that you have at least 2, adults only, and each must be equipped with a helmet. Part of the fascinating thing about this cave is the waterfall. It's really a good place to visit if you want to go on a vacation that includes cave visits, but make sure you are careful enough to avoid any accidents. If you know you can't enter the pit, you can still enjoy the beautiful scenery. Stevens Gap Cave is popular not only with cavers, but also with rappellers due to its natural steepness. Rappellers are those who use a rope to descend a rock, aiming to climb down a cliff or slope without protection. Philip Wayne Whitehead Jr. was born on January 12, 1999, into the family of Philip W. Whitehead Sr. and Lillian Whitehead. Philip Jr. attended Pleasant Hill Baptist Church in McAlpin, Florida. He was a medic in the 101st Airborne Division, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Philip Jr. was a hardworking and cheerful guy all his life. He was enthusiastic about both indoor and outdoor sports, such as football, baseball, fishing, off-road mudding, woodworking, and video games. On rare occasions, humans like to try out things that seem out of our usual lifestyle. It's more like going out of one's comfort zone, and such was the case with Philip. There is no record as to what propelled him to go on vacation to such a cave climbing activity, because there was no record of him being a climber or a rappeller at any time. However, he did go in the company of his friend. The dream vacation of a boy from Florida became a nightmare for his family and friends in the summer of 2019. A 20-year-old specialist at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, left for a vacation with his friend to Stevens Gap Cave in Jackson County. Philip Jr. intended to climb down the steep cave pit, which is about 140 feet, 43 meters, using a rope. He was granted permission to the cave entrance by the SCCi, as you cannot access the cave without the SCCi permit because it's on private property. He met the requirements needed for the permit by not climbing down alone. He was with his friend, a young adult. Though his friend wasn't an expert, he had little experience in rappelling, but as for Philip, it wasn't clear if he did have any experience in climbing or rappelling. While climbing the steep cave pit, Philip's climbing equipment unexpectedly failed, and he fell from a height of about 100 feet, 30 meters to the ground, and unfortunately died. It's unlikely for someone to survive a fall from such a height. However, before this incident, his friend had been able to rappel, climb down with rope, the cave twice with Philip. He said in an interview after Philip's death, "I'm not a climbing expert, but I do know they use metal objects, like figure eights, carabiners, things like that attach to their harness to secure them to the rope. It's some sort of sound that the metal may have popped, and we don't know whether it broke." People who were at the scene of the accident weren't sure of what might have occurred that caused the incident. Was it a malfunction of the equipment or an error by the operator, Philip? All that they knew was that there was a pop while he was climbing the cave with his friend, and then he fell to the ground and died. As a result of these contemplations, Jackson County Sheriff's Office staff took all the equipment used by Philip Jr. to examine the cause of the popping sound. The board likewise evaluated the reports that came from the Jackson County Sheriff's Office and the Jackson County Coroner for further investigations. After the incident of Philip's death, Stevens Gap Cave was temporarily closed by the SCCi. No visitations were allowed save those on the investigation of the cause of Philip's death. The temporary ban on visitation was later lifted on September 20th, 2019. The ban was initially placed in honor of the family and friends of Philip Jr. The visitation guidelines for Stevens Gap Cave were reviewed during this period and new developments were made. This was done to ensure the safety of people who would subsequently come for vacation. This is critical because what is the point of going on vacation that will not only cost you money and time, but also your life? Caution needs to be exercised to preserve people's lives while they enjoy themselves. Much concern was given to the cave because 2 deaths were recorded within a few months. Prior to Philip's unfortunate death, Juan Gerardo Cruces from Madison was found dead in this cave in April 2019, and Philip's death occurred in July 2019. Apart from these 2 death records in 2019, other death records have been made in recent years. In 2015, a teenager from Birmingham also died from a fall while exploring the cave. Apart from the Huntsville Cave Rescue Unit that came to help in the accident, many other rescuing bodies and medical units came to the scene of the accident. These included the Sheriff's Office, Scottsboro-Jackson County Rescue Squad, Highlands Medical Center, and Limrock-Aspel Fire Department. The Huntsville Cave Rescue Unit has always been to this cave for rescue missions, and they always advise explorers to be safe while climbing or rappelling at Stevens Gap Cave. You need to go for training and be careful enough while climbing or rappelling. It will be a wise decision for you to stick to this piece of advice and never endanger your own life in the name of a vacation. In addition, Huntsville Cave Rescue Unit Chief of Operations Brian Bailey advised future cave explorers in an interview. If you plan on visiting the site, go to the Southeastern Cave Conservancy website and get a permit. And they have trails. Stay on the marked trails and stay away from the edge of the pit. Use good common sense. Your safety is in your hands. Hold it well. Philip Jr. died at the early age of 20, survived by his father, mother, and grandparents. Services were held in memory of Philip Jr. at Living Springs Family Worship Center on Saturday, July 20th, 2019. Philip Jr. will be greatly missed by members of his family, his friends, and colleagues at work. Though this cave seems risky, many people continually visit the place on vacation. It's a beautiful place to behold. The pictures don't do enough justice to the beauty. You can only behold it in its full glory when you see it. You don't have to allow fear to stop you from experiencing life in this amazing cave. All you need is to get it right before you climb. If you're enthusiastic about this cave and you want to give it a try despite the challenges, you should go to the safety classes for rappelling held by the Huntsville Cave Rescue Unit. Don't allow your fear to stop you from accomplishing your dream, but as Brian told you earlier, your safety is in your hands. Hold it well. We would like to thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching, take a dive on the like button. Consider subscribing to our channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified when we come back with another exciting cave diving story.